want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead. We're going to go through a very tough 2 weeks. And then hopefully, as the experts are predicting, as I think a lot of us are predicting after having studied it so hard, you're going to start seeing some real light at the end of the tunnel. But this is going to be a very painful, very, very painful 2 weeks.
Well, Mike Hannan's joining us now live from Washington. Mike, the President was speaking at the press conference of the Coronavirus Task Force. What else was being said there?
Well, certainly striking a very somber tone indeed, saying that mitigation elements, fighting the disease by social distances, by the lockdown, is a matter of life and death, as he put it. Incidentally, it's the first time that the coronavirus team has actually released projected figures. They've resisted doing so until now. They said they didn't have enough data to be able to make a realistic prediction. Now it appears that they are getting in far greater data, far more detailed data across the US states, and that prediction is from 150,000 to 240,000 deaths predicted by the models they are looking at, and that is even with the mitigation factors that are in place at the moment. The lockdown, the social distancing, the keeping people away from interaction with others. Worst case scenarios, if there is no mitigation measures taken, say the health experts, is something like 1.5 to 2 million deaths. So certainly mitigation, as the experts are making very clear, is absolutely critical, particularly in the next 30 days. The health expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, saying now is the time to put the accelerator down on mitigation efforts. It's the next 30 days are absolutely critical in terms of keeping the death toll down, even though it is very high in terms of those predictions, 140 to 250,000 people, as I said.
Mike, a couple of hours before that press conference, the governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo, had also been speaking about the situation there. What was he saying about that?
Well, once again, he's talking about a city which remains at the epicenter of this pandemic. There are 12% increase in terms of hospital admissions over the past 24 hours. Now, that's a massive leap in terms of people who need to be in hospitals for treatment. Hospitals obviously struggling. The peak of the epidemic is still to come in a couple of weeks' time, and already hospitals are literally under siege. There has been the hospital ship moved to docked in New York. Emergency measures are being taken. Makeshift hospitals in Central Park and convention centers, the Javits Convention Center. But certainly New York absolutely hard hit by this pandemic. The numbers there in terms of fatality, more than 400 in a single day. This is of figures that the governor has been warning about in the past few days, but still continuing to say that this is not the apex of the epidemic at this particular point. That is still to come, and that is why everything has to be done now in order to be ready when the full weight of the pandemic hits this massive city. And once again, that governor saying as well, it's absolutely critical. Mitigation factors, the lockdown has got to continue. And on a personal note, the governor's brother has tested positive for the coronavirus, a news broadcaster. He's continuing to work from his home, but it just shows that this virus does not respect anybody. Everybody is at threat.
Mike Hanna in Washington, D.C. Mike, thanks very much.